We're
from
live,
Sunderland.
guys. Welcome to Staying Connected, guys. Obviously, you know the drill by now. On a Monday, we have Alana. Wednesday, it's me and Haferman. Then on a Friday, we have somebody from an organization. Today, I am joined by a good friend of the organization. It is Cata from the Sunderland Literacy. Let me make sure I get this right, bro.
Hey, you got
Sunderland
it.
Literacy Aid. That's the one. Yeah, just wanted to double check that. I don't want to mess that up. So we've
Yeah.
got Sunderland, Cata from the Sunderland Literacy Aid. So how's it going, man? I just want to add quickly. Sorry to jump in there, Cata, but just want to add that yeah, Cata's joining us purely audio today. So it's gonna you guys are gonna have to put up with my ugly face for a little bit longer, guys. So apologies for that, but I'm sure you'll get through it. So how's it going, Cata? How's everything, man? You good, man?
Yeah. Everything is okay. I just came back yesterday. Like I told you earlier, my voice is not that good, but I'm gonna do my best to
Okay,
um be
perfect,
as loud as possible.
perfect, perfect.
Um, I'm happy to see gyms reopening last week. I've
Yes.
missed a lot, I promise.
Yeah, man.
Um, I'm not a fitness addict, but I like to keep in shape and healthy, and
Yeah,
even the gym's closed.
yeah.
At one point, you get sick of just doing push-ups.
I
You
know.
know.
Yeah, it's like the prison workout. You start to get sick of the old prison workout, right? It's like,
Exactly. Exactly. No, but I have some weights as well, like really light weights, but it's still not. It's definitely not the same type of workout you would be able to do in
no,
the
I
gym.
got you,
So
man.
kind of after a couple of months, it started affecting my sleeping patterns as well.
Oh wow, man.
Um, it
Yeah,
started.
I feel
It,
like it's because when you're doing a workout in a gym, and it depends whatever you're doing. If you're doing like, I don't know, interval training, or if you're doing like powerlifting or whatever, there's certain stuff that you need to do that, right? And it's like it's a gym's really the main thing for that. So yeah, it can be a
yeah,
especially
but
if
it's
it's
also the yeah. It's also socializing with people. You
true,
know,
man, true. Yeah, that's
working
also
out and socializing with people rather than just
there's
doing push-ups on myself.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and I think that there's like a kind of when you see your friend lifts like slightly heavier, then it obviously it encourages you to lift
It
heavier.
does. It
So
does. It does. It does motivate you. Yes, it does motivate you to yeah take shorter breaks to increase your weights. To, you know
exactly.
um
Oh, so kind of just kind of as an introduction, we usually have the guests that we have on usually let them introduce themselves. So kind of if you wouldn't mind, would you just kind of tell us just a little bit about the Sunderland Literacy Aid, just to give guys an idea who are watching, if that's cool, bro.
yes. So it was registered in 2018, and it's a social enterprise, and it's Sunderland based, and um I decided to start um, Sunderland Literacy Aid after I graduated from uni. Um, and we're doing all sorts of activities, easy activities, which kind of falls under the umbrella of art
That's cool, man.
therapy like
Oh
activities.
wow.
Yeah.
That's so cool, man. So, what's the key audience for Sunderland Literacy Aid? Like, what's the main kind of people that you want to reach, or is it kind of
Um, people people who are considered at high risk. So I'm talking about people who struggle with depression and social isolation
yeah,
and feelings of loneliness and mild mental health challenges, and people who are basically in emotional distress,
yeah, that makes
uh,
sense, man.
whether we're talking about residents of care homes or retirement complexes or community centers. Yeah.
That's awesome, bro. And so, like, if someone was wanting to get involved with Sunderland Literacy Aid, like, what would be their first steps to kind of getting in touch with you guys, or would it?
Just go on our website, sunderlandliteracy.co.uk, and email us or use our Twitter or LinkedIn account to message us over there. Um,
Perfect.
and that's about it. Yeah,
Awesome,
it's
man.
really simple. Yeah.
Awesome. So yeah, sunderlandliteracy8.co.uk. I've got that down there, bro.
Mm.
And so, what gave you the kind of idea to start it, man? Because obviously you said you graduated uni, and you kind of was it an
Yeah.
idea that you had for a
Well,
while, or was it?
yeah, yeah. Well, I decided to start. Um, Sunderland Literacy Aid because I'm an English major, and um,
Ah,
I know how life changing reading and basically talking to other people about powerful books can be. So I've learned that deep and active reading can help people to shift from, um, let's say, um, average way of thinking into a more real understanding of human existence.
wow, that's a really cool point, man.
In order to achieve that level of understanding, books have the power to kind of trigger those levels of emotion and memory and recognition that are not normally available or, or let's say easily accessible in daily life. So
Yeah,
I wanted to give others a taste of this excellent and cheap and easy activity that can really help um, in moments when they might be struggling with, like I said earlier, feelings of loneliness or mild depression or social isolation.
yeah,
So that's how I started basically developing the project and testing and talking to others about the possibility of running shared reading sessions in care homes and
wow.
retirement complexes. And it's been
Ah,
very rewarding to all involved. So this was I initially started with this project in 2018, and it's evolved into other projects as well in the meantime. Yeah.
that's so cool, dude. And so I've seen here a little bit that you guys saying that you kind of donate books as well. So what's
We
what?
do. So yeah.
So what?
So we collect unwanted or unneeded educational resources. We're gonna call them educational resources because we're not collecting only books, but stationery as well,
Uh,
pens, pencils, and markers, and notebooks, and anything that can be used in an educational setting. Instead of taking it to landfill, um, people can donate them with us so we can then further donate them with other organizations that are in need. So in this way, we can help. For example, we've donated stationery and books with a charity Sunderland based called Grace House. Right.
nice.
We've Centerpoint, other charities as well. So we're trying to basically help the environment because recycling it's not that good for our environment
For sure.
when things are being burned. We're trying to um, discourage consumerism, so we want to donate books to people who otherwise would pay for them,
For sure.
but they don't really have to pay £20, £30, £40. They could if they don't mind having those resources secondhand but still in very good condition, they can take them from us free of charge. So
That's
um,
yeah. So that's so cool, and that's a
um, another sorry to cut you off.
no. It's
I
cool, man.
just I
Totally
just
fine.
wanted to say that we're also saving schools, helping schools to save money.
Right.
So, for example, once a year, some schools usually change the half of their library, so they have to pay for a company to come collect the books
Hmm.
from there to take them to landfill. We do that free of charge.
I think that that's awesome, dude. Because yeah, it's such a good point because that idea that books which are decent books, right? And they may be going to landfill because someone doesn't know where to put them. I think the idea of
Exactly.
having like a central hub where you can kind of have these books and then you can give them to people who are going to need them because I think that there's
Exactly.
just a natural disconnect between the people who need the books and the people who no longer have any use for them. And I think for you to kind of bridge that gap
Exactly.
is
Yeah.
such a cool
That's
thing.
exactly what we're doing. Yes, that's
Yeah.
exactly what we're doing.
So that's really cool, man. And yeah, because there's still people who need those books, but it's just being able to kind of say, okay, well, we're getting these ones from the school who are going to throw them out anyway, but then we're going to give them to people who may need them, who and
Yeah.
I liked what you said there about kind of discouraging consumerism as well. I think that's great because a lot of times as well, people don't. They might be looking for a certain book, but then they kind of don't know where to go for it, then they're going to pay. And it's like if they knew that there was a place where they could kind of they had like a wide selection of books, and I think that that would be perfect for
Yeah.
them. So
Yes.
that's
Yeah.
a really cool point, man. So I
Mm.
think that something that you said about kind of shared reading, like doing reading sessions in care homes. That I think that seemed like a really cool idea. What was the kind of basis for that? Was that like something you mentioned about social isolation, right?
Yes, well, it basically brings people together, whether it's taking place in a care home, or a retirement complex or a community center. It just brings a group of people together to share thoughts, feelings, emotions, whatnot, using, um, for example, if we start the shared reading session with a poem, then we can talk about that poem for the next 20 minutes. It helps people to socialize in a different way than
Definitely.
they would be able to if they were to, I don't know, watch TV all day long.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. No, and I think that is a good point, man, because I feel like these kind of groups are important because it kind of de-incentivizes like watching quiz shows. Like if I draw from my
Yeah,
experience, like for example, my
exactly.
grandma, she can watch daytime TV quiz shows all day, and I think that if there was like a place, that she could go to kind of where she had the opportunity,
Yeah,
or any of those people in retirement homes have the opportunity to be able to kind of read together and to analyze it. It's a good form of education, but it's also a good form of being able to kind of socialize at the same time. You know what I'm saying?
exactly. Yes, and there's nothing wrong with quiz shows. It's just
No,
that
for sure, for sure.
there's something else that you can do with your time once a week or twice a week. There's if we can start more shared reading groups across Sunderland, then it's going to help more people to join them and to spend their time in a different way. If it's once a week or twice a week, like I said, it's going to make a difference. Um, yeah.
Definitely, exactly. I totally agree. I'm just looking here as well, mate. I just got the website up and it's saying about that you guys kind of
Oh, okay.
you guys yeah, just want like just because it's really
It needs a lot of updating the website,
okay. Cool, man.
but that's gonna happen in the future at some point.
So yeah, guys, as well, if there's a part on the website here, guys, I would definitely recommend checking it out, guys, because it's quite a well made website. And I would definitely there's an option here to donate books at the bottom. Is that still available, Kai, or is that like
Yes,
brilliant?
definitely.
So if
Same collection points, and we're still taking in books, and
brilliant,
yeah, we're happy to work with people in case they wish to volunteer with us in any way, shape, or form. So
awesome,
um,
awesome.
yeah,
So yeah, guys, if you do have any books that you want to donate or you want to find out a little bit more about the Sunderland Literacy Aid, guys, then look at the website. I left a little link there, guys, for you, and it's definitely worth checking out. There's a lot of good information on there. There's a part here, kind of about ELA kind of learning for like kind of second language learning. Is that something that you
yes,
guys were focusing on before, or something you guys have
we
been doing?
have. Yes, we've done quite a few sessions last year with asylum seekers.
Sure, yeah,
We've not done anything this year because we focus mostly on our what used to be called reading for well-being. We
sure,
we kind of changed it to shared reading and
brilliant.
reminiscence.
That's cool.
That's the name of the project. So we're doing a mix of both, but we've I would say since end of March, I would say once the pandemic hit, we've not really been able to do anything
Yeah, it's tough, and
because
that kind of
yeah.
that brings me on as well to one of my questions, bro. Like, and I know that it's been a big thing for a lot of organizations, but how has the pandemic affected you guys? Has that been like a big factor?
Well, yeah, definitely. It has made it impossible to continue to deliver any of our activities because, like I said earlier, I would say that 90% of the people we work with are considered high risk
Yeah,
during the pandemic.
yeah,
They still are. So, residents of care homes and elderly individuals. And
yeah,
it's also, unfortunately, limited the funding that before the pandemic we would have been eligible for, but not now, not anymore. So it has now forced us to think of other ways of income. So these two things, I would say, have impacted the
yeah.
organization in a major way.
It's tough, man, and I think that a lot of organizations as well can definitely relate to that because it's been a huge toll on a lot of organizations, I think. And as you say, it's like particularly in the education sector, especially when you guys are working with, like as you said yourself, like kind of high risk groups. It makes it that bit
Yeah.
more difficult. So that is tough, buddy. And I can totally understand that as well. And I noticed here, just last one as well, just to go over as well, was that you mentioned about the literacy project that you had, and is that kind of upscaling literacy
Well,
skills in those who have difficulties with that?
yes, that's what we've done in the past, but
Cool.
once again, the lack of funding has made it impossible because
Yeah.
now funders are not funding anything that doesn't have to do with helping people to well it does make sense to not invest in projects that would not be beneficial for communities at this moment, but
Yeah.
we've not been able to do any of those sessions, the literacy project, because there's no funding available for it at the moment. But we hope to start doing that at the
Yeah.
beginning of next year. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's tough, man. And like, yeah, hopefully now, I mean, the numbers are coming down. We had some more news today about areas like Greater Manchester getting lockdown extended, but hopefully that this is going to kind of,
Oh,
the sooner the better. Really, things are going to get back to normal, and we can, you can start kind of offering more of those services once again. So, fingers crossed that it's not too long before you guys are, back.
I'm sure
Um,
it's gonna come back to a sense of normality at some point next year, but it's just yeah, at the moment we're waiting to see how this situation will change things because I don't see how we'll be able to go inside care homes and
yeah,
retirement complexes and community centers the same way that we used to. I wouldn't know how we would be able to. Well, let me not say anything. I'm just
yeah.
gonna wait until maybe October, November, and see how it goes from then.
Yeah, man.
From their own.
Yeah, I'm with you, dude. And fingers crossed for that. I'm just gonna kind of check up with the chat here a little bit, and so we've got a couple people here that's saying, Sue's saying that she says she's busy sorting through a huge box of stationery and some books. Where can I drop off any donations for you to distribute? Um,
So yeah, I think that the easiest collection point is inside Newcastle Building Society, the one in Sunderland next to Sunderland Station.
yeah,
Um, because they're open between 9 and 5 o'clock, I think. So
right, yeah,
you don't have to book an appointment. You can just go there, go in, and leave the bags with books and stationaries, and we usually collect from them once every 2 months.
right. Brilliant, brilliant. So Newcastle Building Society, that is. You were saying right there, right, Kaya?
Yes, yes, it's right next to yeah, Sunderland Station, Sunderland Station.
Yes, and I've got that here. It is Newcastle Building Society, Sunderland branch, 14 Waterloo Place, SR1 free HT. Is that the one, bud?
That's the
Um,
one. Yes, we have. I think we have. We should have it on our
yeah, I'm
website.
looking at that. I'm just going to paste that into the chat there.
Okay.
So,
All right.
guys, yeah, so brilliant. I've just pasted that one into the chat for you guys. So, yeah, and then,
Not at the Minster, though. I forgot to mention that
yeah,
the Minster has been closed for a while now. I know they've been
yeah,
doing some major construction
right.
things over there. So
Got it.
um, I recommend Newcastle Building Society is the easiest.
Brilliant.
So,
So I pasted the address for Newcastle
thank
Building
you.
Society, and Sue has
Yeah.
also said that she's got a lot
Mhm.
of cookery books that she's going to be donating, which would be very good, I'd imagine.
Yeah,
Um,
that's great. Yes, anything.
and let's have a look. I think Charlotte mentioned as well. Charlotte said it's cool that you can donate free books and resources to people. I do have some stationery if you want, and just ask them where it could be donated to. So, yeah, guys, if you can see in the chat there, I've put it's Newcastle Building Site, and I've put the address there, the postcode, and it's Monday to Friday from 9:30 to 4:30. So it's
Thank you.
you said that it's both stationery and books. Is that right, Carter? I'm right in that.
Yes, yes, yes. Books, stationery. Yeah.
That is absolutely fantastic, bud. And let's have a little look. I want to see if yeah, we've got
So
it's okay, totally fine, mate. Yeah, so I think that everybody. So yeah, and Sue was saying there that she says she loves reading, but since my site started deteriorating, it's hard and harder to get more modern and popular books in large print. So I can obviously
We can help with that.
brilliant, brilliant. So
We have loads of books in large print. We can donate them, and we can also, um, if she's who was that? So you
that was
said?
Sue. Yeah, should I drop your email
Okay.
in the chat there, Cata, mate?
Yes, I'm not on the. Can you email me, please,
Yeah,
the email? Because I'm not on the. I'm not on YouTube
yeah.
at
So
the moment.
hello at Sunderland Literacy Aid. Is that's the one, bud?
That's the one. Yes.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to drop Kata's email address in here, Sue. And Kat is obviously just saying that I'm sure you heard that they have a lot of books in large print. Is that something that you get like quite often, Kat, people who have kind of eyesight issues and things like that, and
Um.
obviously
Ye- I would say that 20%, 20
right.
to 30% of what we have in our storage space is in large print.
Brilliant, and that's obviously going to be massively helpful for people like Sue. Obviously, who are wanting to kind of read, but maybe there's that kind of gap, having the restriction of things being in smaller print, perhaps. But that's
Yeah.
really cool, man. So I'm guessing you guys have like a wide range of books. Do you guys categorize from which section you have, or is it?
Um,
I bet it's
we
pretty
do,
difficult
we
to be
do,
fair.
yeah, I was gonna say that it's almost impossible at the moment, but
Yeah,
we
yeah.
do try to keep, for example, textbooks with textbooks, children's books with children's books, and fiction with fiction, and nonfiction with nonfiction. But it's just it takes a lot of time
I can imagine.
to sort them out. Um, but at least we're doing our best to have them in our storage space, to have the titles as visible as possible, to make it easier for people to just see what the rate is that they're looking for.
That's brilliant. That's
Um,
brilliant. Yeah.
but we'll do that in the future when we'll have a bigger storage space. At the moment, that is not possible.
Definitely. And do you have like any kind of what would be like your kind of ideal like future kind of plans? Like if you were gonna like if there was any kind of certain course you put on, like just imagine there was no COVID, there was no restrictions. What would be like your ideal courses to implement or your ideal scenario for distributing stuff? Like what would that be for you?
Um, I would say that the project shared reading and reminiscence has been very successful and efficient, effective, and popular
That's
with
awesome.
every single care home that we've worked with. So ideally, we would have been able to expand. So we've delivered the project in 6 care homes in Sunderland and a retirement complex and a community center. So um, ideally, we would have been able to continue doing that and expanding to maybe 10, 15 care homes. I know that
That's cool, man.
Sunderland has about 70 to 80 care
Wow.
homes.
That's a
So
lot, man.
I'm hoping by the end of next year, by the end of 2021, we'll have enough funding and volunteers and ideally part-time employees to go in inside care homes at least once a week
Brilliant,
and
man.
deliver this project.
That's so
Um,
cool. Yeah, I think that would be awesome if that's for that to happen. I think definitely, man. And I think it's really cool, bro. So yeah, I think Sue said something interesting as well. She was saying here that my imagination is triggered by reading for myself. Tried using audiobooks, but it's other people's interpretation that I get from that. And I can kind of understand what she's saying because I don't know about you,
mhm.
dude, but when I read, like, when you read, there's nothing there. You're literally purely imagining everything yourself. But when you listen to an audiobook, it's someone else's voice. So it feels like when they're talking in the character's voice, like I don't know, you can just picture the person who's talking, right? It's so.
Mhm.
What do you think about audiobooks? Is that like
I've never tried audiobooks, unfortunately.
yeah,
I don't even read ebooks.
yeah,
I'm still buying hardbacks and paperbacks. I, I I think it's it just feels very I don't know if uncomfortable or unusual. I can't do audiobooks.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I don't know.
Did, did,
Um, but I know for a fact that it works for some people
mhm.
to listen to audiobooks, and that's also a beneficial activity somebody can do without too much work.
Yeah.
Um,
It depends though, isn't it? I definitely feel like, because for example, like whenever I listen to audiobooks, I'm always doing something else, and I think that like
exactly. Yes. Yeah. Exactly. I've heard that from people, from so many
I
people. They just take the coach for 3 4 hours or
yeah.
take the train for 5 hours and they just listen to audiobooks, and I think that's wonderful.
But bro, like I honestly think like if I was sat in my room listening to an audiobook, I'd probably go insane. Like literally just sat there, not moving, like staring at the
Uh-huh.
wall or closing my eyes. And this, I feel like it just seems so strange to, because you're not your body and your brain, it's like not used to sitting still for that long. Because I feel like when you read, it's like a practice. You turn in the pages, you're looking at it. Whereas when you listen to an audio, you can literally just sit still. And I think that seems so odd. I mean, I don't know, what do you think?
Yeah. Um, well, I think it's different for different people.
Yeah,
I definitely think that the younger generation has the tendency to go more towards audiobooks.
got you, man. Yeah.
Um, I'm I don't think I don't think I'm part of the younger generation anymore, but I don't know if necessarily um, um, has much to do with it. I don't know. I guess it's a preference. I guess it's also whatever you feel works for you best. I wouldn't um, even when I can't really focus on listening to podcasts.
Yeah.
So I usually, if I watch a talk, a seminar, a lecture, anything, I
Yeah.
usually watch it on YouTube. I need to see the person.
Yeah, I've got you, man. Yeah.
I need to see the person. And it's the same with reading. I need to have the book in my hand, and I need to turn the pages. I need to see the words.
Have you ever?
Um,
I, I,
Go ahead.
I can understand that, man. Have you ever watched like a seminar or lecture on like 1.5 speed or 2 speed? Because you can still understand what they're saying, but it like literally halves the time. They sound like
I
chipmunks, but it works. I don't know.
no, I've not. Uh, I've not. Uh,
It's
I don't. Okay, maybe I should. Maybe I should give it a go.
give it a try sometime, man. Because if you think you think like, oh, this is like a 2 hour lecture, but it's a topic that you're interested in, you can put it on 2 speed. You can understand everything they say, but it's just like a little bit like chipmunk like. But so it's up to you, man. It works though. Um, so it's something to think about. I've done it before a few times, but like sometimes when I really just want to sit and focus, it's kind of distracting if they're like the voice is like
Uh,
kind of high pitched. But yeah. Um,
all right, that's funny.
we got so Lynn was asking, she was saying, so what sort of volunteering opportunities does the organization have? So I think that's an interesting question. I mean, are you guys still able to take volunteers at the moment, and maybe afterwards what kind of volunteers would you be looking for?
I would say from September, October.
Brilliant.
So I think we'll have to wait until the end of August and see what
Cool.
the government will decide with. Maybe it's going to be a second wave, maybe not.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I'll know more at the beginning of September, I think. But we would definitely need volunteers who are able to go and visit any care home
Cool.
that's within walking distance to where they live once a
Right.
week for about 45 minutes. It would make a huge difference
Brilliant.
um, to the residents in that care home. Yeah, um, we've made quite a lot of prints, so photos of Sunderland in the 90s and the
Yeah,
80s and the 70s and the 60s. So
it's really cool.
I think that's the easiest activity that volunteers can do without any um, long-term training. Let's call it.
Yeah.
They can join us for a couple of sessions and um, yeah, they can start doing it by themselves without any supervision whatsoever. So I think in order to expand more in terms of um, helping more care homes, I
Yeah.
think that volunteers for this project um, would be appreciated. Of course, they can volunteer in other areas as well. So whoever drives, who's comfortable with driving, they can collect the books for us from different schools.
Awesome. So
Uh,
so yeah, so
so
if people are looking to get involved and they want to collect books, or if they want to do some reading at a care home, guys, then is are they the two main ones for now? Kind of those ones, and
those would be the main ones. Yes, those would
brilliant.
be the main.
And
Yeah.
perfect. So I've put Cata's email. It's just above there, guys. If you were looking at the chat, it's hello@sunlandliteracy.co.uk. Drop him an email if you're interested about that. He was just saying there, obviously, September is when you're imagining and saying at least by the end of August. So yeah, drop him an email, guys, if you're interested about helping out with that. And Lynn also just said that she says that's really interesting. She says she follows a couple of pages on Facebook about the history of Sunderland, and she says that's really fascinating about the prince as well, mate. So
Yeah, we have on our website we have an article um, from Sunderland Echo. I think it was
oh
published
wow.
2 months ago. So um, yeah, I think it would be interesting if they wouldn't mind reading that article. It's less than 5 minutes,
Yeah, definitely.
um, so that would give them a more insight on what this project is about and what we've done in the past and how they can help us.
Yeah, so guys, check out the article on the website there, which is also, we've linked that in the chat there, guys. It's sunlandliteracy.co.uk. And
I think it's in the events section
yeah,
or news.
brilliant.
News.
In the event section in news, then there's an article there about Sunland Echo. That sorry, about the Sunland Echo did with Sunland Literacy Aid, which is really cool. So definitely check out that, guys. That
Um,
that's really cool, bro. Yeah, and yeah, I think that's awesome, man. All right,
news.
Cata, dude. So
Events. Yeah.
sorry, mate. What
Mhm.
did you say, bro? Say that again, bud.
I was saying that I was checking. I'm checking myself now. It's in the news
Cool.
section. It was on the 2nd of July. Okay.
All right, yeah. So in the news section, 2nd July. Let's have a
Mm.
quick look. Get that up there. Okay, yeah, I've got it, man. Yeah, that's really cool. So,
Or actually, even on the Sunderland Echo on their website, just type in Sunderland Echo, Sunderland Literacy Aid, and the article should come up.
oh, I've got it here, bro. Sunderland Echo, how. Oh, wow, it's so cool. How the Sunderland Echo archives are helping Wearside people, elderly, overcome loneliness. And that's so cool. And then it's linked up with the Sunderland Literacy Aid group. So I'm going to paste the article here in the chat, guys. If you guys want to have a little read of this, it's actually really cool. And some of these are some really cool pictures as well on here. Oh,
it's
wow.
it's fascinating to see how Sunderland has changed in the last
Absolutely, man.
5 6 decades. It's amazing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. I had a learner not so long back who was really interested in that as well, and he would come in with some like,
And as a volunteer, you will also learn a lot about Sunderland's history when you're gonna talk to somebody who's in their 80s or 90s, and you're gonna show the prints. They'll start telling you stories about how city center used to be like before. It's just I think it's a learning process on both sides.
yeah, absolutely, and it's also cool for people to kind of be able to see how much stuff has changed, for them to see like, oh, I remember when that was there. Or, and obviously if it's someone who's been local to the area for a long time, it's amazing,
That
right?
happens every time, every
Really.
session. With a shared reading and reminiscence session, we hear stories upon stories of how that store used to be there and how we used to go and get our candy from this one and
Oh,
how we used to go and
really?
get our meat from this one and how or the entire Sunderland used to queue up in front of this store for Christmas. And it's just I feel like in 10 sessions, in 10, yeah, if you volunteer for 10 sessions, you will learn more about the history of Sunderland than ever before.
Wow, yeah, guys. So there you go, man. If you're looking to learn a bit of history about Sunderland as well, it's the perfect opportunity, and I think it's awesome, man. And yeah, like I was just saying there, like I had a learner who was, he was quite into that stuff about Sunderland, and he had some old pictures he was showing me, and I was amazed to kind of see. I'm sure there was like a tram line that ran through Sunderland. I didn't know anything about that. Like,
Yes, yes,
you know what I'm saying? Yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
yeah,
And I thought that was amazing. I was like, this is so cool. So yeah, like it is actually super interesting.
yeah.
Definitely. Yeah, it's and yeah, and Lynn was saying in the chat there, like Sunderland used to be like the shipbuilding capital of the world.
It
So there's
was,
like,
yes. You should see the ships they were building. Wow.
wow, I can imagine, man. It's so cool. So yeah, guys, there's a brilliant opportunity there to check out some like really cool stuff. Um, and yeah, man. So just as like a side note, man, I remember
Mm.
a long time ago when kind of I was doing some of the sessions at Tesco's, and you were shooting some footage for like a short film I think you were making at the time. And
Oh yeah,
so
yeah.
how was that, man? Because that was really cool getting to work with you on. We were doing a bit of editing on some of that. Have you are you still working on that at the moment, or have you switched projects? Or
So there's been no progress in the editing side of things.
got you, man.
However, I have filmed quite a lot. So now I have loads of footage to work with, and I hope to
Brilliant.
start editing again very soon. You're really good at explaining the editing process, by
Thank
the
you,
way.
man. Appreciate that.
I remember you helped me a lot. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
Are you guys planning to do that again anytime soon?
yeah, it's tough, but with that we were planning on, because that was difficult, because obviously that was at Tesco's that session, and that was one of the first
Yeah.
things to like of our sessions that got stopped, obviously, because they would just had to like shut everything down.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure when that's going to be back on, but yeah, the drop in. I mean, what we're doing right now kind of replace the drop in some aspects, in the fact that like we're
Mhm.
connecting with a lot of learners weekly. But I'm sure we would like to get that started up again. Um, yeah, because the drop in was like a good central hub where people could work on like miscellaneous projects. And we could be there to support them. So hopefully we'll be able to get something
That
along
would be
those lines
great.
back up.
That would be great.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. So yeah, do you have any kind of is that your main focus, like film wise? Is that the thing that you're working on the most, or is there anything else in the pipeline, like any other ideas you've had, or is it?
Well, in terms of filming, we have started just before the pandemic working on a short documentary on
Nice.
our shared reading and reminiscence project. So we
Oh
have some
man,
footage of that,
brilliant.
and when things will come back to normal, we hope to do some more filming and then have like a 20-minute documentary on this project and
Brilliant.
share it with as many organizations as possible, and hopefully more people will see the benefits of shared reading and reminiscence activities.
It's a brilliant idea.
Um,
That's absolutely brilliant idea, mate. And I think that people will love that, definitely, bro. Um, and it's a good idea. So yeah, you keep working on it, man, and let me know how it goes as well. I'll be interested to see
I
that,
will definitely.
as it
Yeah.
develops. We got like people in the chat like are there are serious. So obviously you can see kind of the effects of that, cause because the people in the chat are absolutely buzzing about it. And Sue is just saying that she'll be in touch, Cata, about the page prints and the donations. But she says she's got to go now. So see you later, Sue, and thanks for stopping by. She also said that memories of Sunderland are flooding back because her family used to work at Wearmouth Colliery. And then
Yeah.
Lynn was just mentioning that she was telling a girl from Iran who that Sunderland used to be the shipbuilding capital of the world, and she was saying that she looked at her in disbelief. But next time she saw her, she couldn't contain her excitement in the fact that it was all true. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's all good stuff, man.
Mhm.
And yeah, so I think that's all awesome. So on a side note as well, mate, just a more of a general note. Obviously, I know
Hmm.
that me, you, and Dan and Hiff, we all have like a shared interest in like hip hop music. I know that you're also a big, I know that you're a big Tupac fan, bro, and I know obviously I am myself.
Uh-huh.
So just in general, what kind of stuff have you been listening to at the moment? Have you been listening to a lot of hip hop or R&B? Actually, Dan did tell me that you are an Erica Badu fan, and I'm a massive Badu fan.
Yeah.
So that was like pretty. I thought that was pretty cool when I heard that. Like Baduism's like one of my
I've
favorite,
been
probably my top
um
10 favorite albums. So
yes, I've been a fan for a very long time, and um I'm still disappointed that there's a bar in Newcastle.
yeah,
I'm not gonna say its name. Um but she played there like
Oh
in
man.
2013, I think, and I was in Sunderland. I didn't know anything about it, and
Oh man.
I'm still sad today.
Yeah, I would. That would have been amazing. I would have loved to go and see that. That would have been so cool. So
Yeah.
what's on Cata's like iPod at the moment? Have you been listening to much music over lockdown? I know. Are you one of those people that
Um,
listens to music in the gym or?
um, Usually when I'm out and about, but um, I can't remember. I've been listening to Mystic. Um, it's a woman MC from Oakland.
Oh man, that sounds so cool.
I've been a long time fan, but it's just it was off my radar for a very long time as well. So
Awesome, man.
um, um, yeah. Anyway, so that Slum Village and
Oh wow, Slum Village. I love Slum Village because I think that Jay Dilla is one of the greatest producers in all of hip hop music. So I think that any kind of anything with Dilla on, I absolutely love. So yeah, I'm a big Slum Village fan. I think that they've got some of
mhm,
the nicest kind of hip hop beats. Yeah, big fan of anything
they do, yeah.
yeah, I think Dilla's absolutely great. What about DJ Premier? Do you like any kind of a lot of stuff he's produced? Or
Um, I I do, but I also think he's overrated.
yeah, fair. That's fair. That's fair. Yeah, I quite like Gangstar, like the stuff he did with Gangstar. I'm a big fan of a lot of that stuff.
Yeah.
So
Yes, I like Gangstar as well, but
yeah,
yeah, he's a good producer, but I think he's overrated.
yeah. I think that there's actually I listened to a track the other day. I can't remember what it was, but it was a Some Village track, and it had Kanye featuring on it. Oh, it's Selfish, right? And it's Kanye and John Legend, and it's so crazy to look back at that video and just to see like Kanye when he was kind of starting out then versus like
what
Kanye now, and it's like completely different. It's so
what
crazy.
video was it?
It's called Selfish. It's John Legend, Kanye, and it's Slum Village.
Oh, I didn't know, man.
But I think it's a Dilla beat. I think Slum Village produced it. It's kind of crazy to see Kanye be on that beat, and also I think that a lot of people, I mean, Kanye now is like he's long gone, but a lot of things that people don't know about him is he actually is a producer, and he produced all his early albums. He also produced a Common album. I think
Uh,
one of Common's albums he produced as well, which is pretty cool.
it would have been great if he would have stayed with producing.
Yeah, man. Yeah, yeah. So, do you have any kind of yeah, true, exactly, because his beats are quite good, and I mean, College Dropout. I think all the beats are really nice on that.
Mhm.
Do you have
Yeah.
any kind of if you wanted to give like maybe top five hip hop albums? Because for me personally, my favorite hip hop stuff is like I like a lot of old school underground '90s hip hop. Like I love Farside, I love Slum Village. A huge fan of Tribe. I think I love like every Tribe album.
Mhm.
I really like that kind of like Outkast's first few albums. I'm obsessed with those. I love like a lot of kind of that '90s jazz influenced hip hop. Like I'm a really big fan of
Uh,
that. Um, how about yourself? Do you have any like go-to albums that
I
you like listening to?
I no, I don't really have albums that I go
Just
to.
songs,
I don't
right?
have a top, just songs. Yeah.
That's
Um. Yeah. I don't. I'm sorry. I don't have. Well,
that's cool,
I
man.
would say that I would. I my favorite song for like 20 years now is been Tupac's "Unconditional Love."
Oh man, that's such a good tune. That's actually an awesome song. Yeah, I
Like
love
it's
that
not
track as
changed
well.
in 20 years. It's the same one.
I think that's a. Is that like an unreleased track? Was it? I don't think it was officially on any albums, was it? Or, I'm not
Um.
100% sure.
No.
But yeah, that is an unreal track. I know that you've heard what you call it some of the stuff that he's done with Gaddafi, right? Like Killing Fields and as soon
Yes.
as I get home.
Yes.
You heard those
The
tracks,
the
right?
original one. The original one. I like that one.
So good,
Um.
right?
Yeah. I think it's been on repeat for like 2 weeks, like 20, 30 times a day. Recently, at the beginning of this year, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of that kind of stuff, man. Like I love all the stuff with Gaddafi's great. I love all of the stuff with the Outlaws. I think that's so good.
Hmm.
Do you,
Yeah.
have you listened to much Big L before? Have you ever heard?
I have, yes. I used to listen to a lot of Big L, but sometimes you know what happens. I'm listening to an artist quite a lot, like in intense, like every single day for like 2 weeks,
Yeah.
and I go through all the artists' tracks, and then
Yeah, yeah.
I'd stop listening for a long period of time. Um,
I did that as well, to be honest, man. There's a guy, I don't know if you've heard him or much of him or what you think of him, but there's a guy who does, he was Big L's mentor in a way. He's called Lord Finesse. And I'm like a
yes,
massive,
I love Workiness.
oh,
Yeah.
dude, I love Lord Finesse so much. He invented that kind of whole pun style, whereas like, it's like, a lot of his rhymes were like punchlines. Like, that was one of his big
Um,
things. Um, but yeah, he's got an album called I think The Awakening, and literally like every beat off that just sounds so good. It's like very like jazz influenced, but it's like it just sounds. I just think all of the beats sound so nice.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's
Yeah, check that one out. I forgot about Lord Finesse, but yeah, good thing he reminded me.
yeah, man, he's absolutely awesome. So what are you? Do you have any plans this weekend? What are you up to? Are you going to be heading back to the gym or?
Tomorrow, yes. So I came back to Sunderland yesterday. I was in London for a while, and I can't wait to um work out tomorrow. I think gyms be opened on the 25th. Was
Yeah,
it 25th?
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, one of my friends mentioned that he'd been, so I think that they're open at the moment. Yeah. What are you going to be doing? Are you getting into some like powerlifting, or are you just going to kind of see when you get there?
Just a little bit of everything.
Nice, man.
I would say that I'm a bit rusty now after 4 months of not doing any intense physical activity, but I'm
Yeah,
gonna do a little bit of cardio, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. So I'm
nice,
gonna
man.
take it slow. I don't want to injure myself. It happened in the past. It's not nice.
Yeah,
So I'm just gonna take it slow. 45 minutes tomorrow, maybe an hour Sunday, maybe an
good
hour
idea.
and 10 minutes next week, and
Yeah, take it easy. Yeah, I would yeah, take it easy. Don't kind of go too over the top with it. Maybe I would say, and then because my friend said that he lost like quite a bit in strength gains. So then
yeah.
yeah, cool man. Yeah, just a couple more questions on
Sure.
just on hip hop in general. What do you think of Nas? Have you heard much Nas? Are you a big fan? Because I know that Dan for the longest time was, I know that Dan's a big Tupac fan. He was kind of put off listening to him, and then he listened to Illmatic, and I think that he was kind of, he liked it, but I don't think he was too much into it. But for me, Illmatic is like up there with the very top hip hop albums I think of all time. So,
Um,
do you have an opinion on that,
no,
or
I never liked Nas.
you're not a big
I
Nas
mean,
fan yourself?
I'm not a big fan, but I don't think it has anything to do with um him and Tupac.
Mm-hmm.
I've never been, it never appealed to me. I don't
Mm-hmm.
know why. I think there's a couple of tracks on his first album, but apart
Yeah,
from that, not really.
I think that his first album, I think that you mentioned as well. I think we maybe spoke about it. Like on his first album, it's so good as well because a lot of the beats are produced by like Premier, and he's got so many good like producers on
Well,
his first
yeah,
album even. So
that was because a lot of people are talking about Illmatic being one of the best albums
yeah,
ever.
yeah.
But what would you expect when you have money to bring all the best producers in the world to work on your album?
Yeah, it's true, man. It's true. Is there any kind of current hip hop artist that you're into? I know you said you mentioned was it Mystical you mentioned?
No, 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 not
Mystic,
Mystical, Mystic, but
Mystic. Sure, yeah.
I don't think
She's more of an older artist, right?
she's from the 90s, early 2000s, I think.
I'm gonna
She
have to check her
stopped.
out. I'm gonna have to
She's
check
more of
her out.
a educator,
Oh, that's cool, man.
activist, teacher at the moment in Oakland. She's based in Oakland, but not Mystical, no.
Not Mystical.
Mystic.
So you're a fan of are you a fan of Lauren Hill then? Because I guess Lauren Hill's kind of seen in that light a bit as well. Is
Um, no, no, I'm
no,
not.
not a big
No, I'm not.
yeah.
I was saying earlier, I don't know if I mentioned Leela James.
Right. Okay.
I
Cool.
prefer Leela James
Levi James. I'll check that out, man. That's awesome.
over
Great stuff.
Lauren. Yeah.
Cool, man. That's all very cool. All right, Cata. So I think that we are just about approaching that. I wanted to ask you as well, just really briefly.
Yeah.
Every time that you like came to the office, you'd always like brought us like so many kind of like little goodies and snacks and stuff, and I just thought that was so cool. And I never really met to. I know this is like such a like a it's like a small thing, but like I never met someone who's like generally like that generous in general. Not just
Oh,
generous, but
come on,
like
man. That's nothing.
no, no, I know, right? But I think that's just in your nature, and I think that I kind of wanted to say like, have you always been like that, or is it's just because like yeah, I think that generally like your demeanor, you're like quite like a friendly, like generous person, and I think that it was always like so cool that every time we see you, like kind of always bring us stuff, and you're always so like warm and affable, and yeah, is that like is that something that what kind of instilled that like I don't know that kind of attitude, I guess.
I don't know. Like I think I've always, I don't remember being different, ever being different. I don't know.
Yeah,
Well, you guys are great. You guys are wonderful people. So why would
thank
you
you,
not
man. I
be
appreciate that.
wonderful with wonderful people? Yeah.
That's nice, man. That's
Um,
a really nice thing to say. So
I guess we appreciate each other. I appreciate you guys. You appreciate me in
definitely,
your
yeah,
own
we all
way. So,
appreciate you. Absolutely, man. Definitely,
um,
yeah. We always love when you come to the office and stuff, and it's always good catching up with what you've been up to and what's going on.
yeah. Hopefully we'll get to do that again soon. Maybe next month.
Absolutely, yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, it shouldn't be too long now, man. Things are coming back around. Um, all good, Cata. Cool, man. Well, I won't take up too much more of your time, bud. But yeah, guys, if you guys are wanting to Dan also is saying that I'll just catch up with Dan's been saying in the chat there that because people were asking where is Cata from, and people were saying is it American or Canadian, and then Mel corrected them on Romanian, and they were saying that interestingly they were saying that a lot of people mistake Cata's accent for Canadian. Is that right, Cata bud?
Always Canadian or American. That's what I get always.
Okie dokie, man. And then Dan says mystical. No way. So not mystical,
Yeah.
obviously, which is pretty funny, man. And yeah, so Dan also said in the chat, Daniel, explain how you got your job. So I think that yeah, I mean in the interview when I interviewed for the job, I think that and just beyond that, I've always been a huge Tupac fan growing up. That was like I was always huge on Tupac, and I ended up like in the interview. Even me and Dan, like, I don't, what was it in the interview, or was it just after? I think it might have been just after when might have been when I was doing my internship. But me and Dan, I found out obviously Dan was a big Tupac fan, and then we like bonded over that, and then like ended up like kind of going into it, and obviously like I love all of like Tupac's like rare stuff, like his OG stuff, and like all of the unreleased tracks and things like that, and like so yeah, me and Dan kind of really bonded over that, and I think that yeah, so that was I think that it helped a little bit in getting my job, I would say. So yeah.
Yeah, I think I remember. I remember you mentioned something about it a long time ago.
Yeah, man, yeah. Like cool. So you were saying that your favorite I know that you mentioned you don't really listen to albums too much, but you were saying that your
Yeah,
favorite is your favorite Tupac track Unconditional Love, or is that just one of your favorite Tupac tracks?
definitely, definitely.
Definitely your favorite track. Do you have a favorite Tupac album, or is it too hard to pick just because you kind of listen to like the individual songs rather than the albums as a whole?
No, I go with individual songs rather than albums.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah. Lately,
yeah.
I would say that I have been listening to a lot of the Tupac album "Still I Rise" with the Outlaws. I've been listening to a lot of that lately. I think that's such a good
Mhm.
album, and I think the Outlaws are all so sick on like every track as well. So, and I think that that album's like almost track. Well, it pretty much is track for track good. Um,
Um, oh, okay. I would say that I feel the same about Machiavelli. I think that every single track on the album is like there's no um it every single track impacts you emotion. It
yeah.
impacts you in a different way. It's like
Oh man.
I would say that if you really want an answer from me in terms of like a favorite album, I would say that I always go back to that one.
Yeah. I mean, because like if you listen to Good Die Young, it's like really kind of sad in a way, and it's kind of it's like more like kind of downbeat. But then if you listen to something like Illuminati, it's like so kind of intense and powerful. Teardrops and Closed Caskets obviously is just such an amazing like track for track. It's good, I think so.
Hmm.
Yeah, there's and there's always like I go back to the album a lot as well and listen to a track that I maybe didn't listen to as much originally, and then I start listening to it again. I'm like, oh, this song's actually like a real banger.
Mhm.
So yeah, definitely. Big fan of that. Okay, mate. Anyway, and then also Dan says just in the chat there, he says that it was specifically when you said, "Have you heard the Killing Fields with Yagi?" That's when I think that the moment Dan was like, "Oh yeah," so that's pretty cool.
Okay.
And Dan was saying that Hold Your Head has been his number one for years. I think that Hold Your Head's so good because the lyrics are amazing, and it's got such a positive message as well. So I think that that's pretty cool. And Dan was saying that the Still Arise OGs are far superior, but it's a solid posthumous, like after he died, release. So and Dan was saying that he's in agreement with Catalan as well.
Mm.
He's also saying that stop this topic without me on the call, because I'm sure he's dying to get on the mic and drop some knowledge about Pac. So
Uh-huh. Yeah, always.
Yeah, man, yeah. All right, cool, man. So Cata, is there anything that you'd like to add just before we go, bro? Or are you quite happy with everything?
Um, yeah, no, I don't think I have anything else to say. Just you guys stay happy and positive, and yeah, I hope to maybe we can do this again.
Yeah, man, for sure, for sure.
Maybe we can do this again and talk about different projects.
Brilliant, brilliant. Well, yeah. And
We'll see.
yeah, we'll see what happens, man. But definitely, I mean, that's a good idea for maybe in a month or a couple of months to see how things are changing. We'll see, dude. I think it seems like a pretty good idea. But yeah, man, if that's that, then guys, I think that me and Cata are gonna go, guys. But I would like to remind all you guys that I've put the website there, guys, if you guys want to scroll up. Oh, one thing before I forget, because I almost did forget there, is just please do that survey for us, guys. I'm going to paste that in there. If hear from, or Dan is maybe there, if you guys want to beat me to that, you are welcome. But if not, I'm going to paste the link there just to the survey. And if you could get that done. But yeah, guys, like as I said, if you guys are wanting to donate any books, then check the chat and the link is there. We'll website there, guys. If you guys want to scroll as well, we've got the drop-off point. It is Newcastle put the website Society, there, but the address, like as I said, is in the chat there, guys. And also sunderlandliteracy.co.uk if you guys are interested in volunteering in the future. Hello at sunderlandliteracy.co.uk. Make sure that you guys drop Cata a message and just let him know what you're interested in doing. He says that sometimes, you know, they need people who can drive, who will pick up the books for them. But then they also said that if, you know, you guys are wanting to volunteer at a care home and do some kind of reading with some of the people at the care home, then you guys can help volunteer in that sense as well. Am I missing anything off, Cata, or is that about all right, mate?
No, that's about right.
Perfect. And yeah, guys, we will be back next week. I have my taster for the photography course coming up. The taster session will all be virtual from the computer, guys. So I know that you guys are wanting to get out and take some pictures. The way that I'm guessing at the moment is the taster session, we're going to do it all virtual on the computer. We can talk about that during the session. I think that they will be on YouTube. We're going to look at some composition. We're going to look at the difference between smartphone photography. We're going to look at the difference between DSLR photography as a brief overview. And then in the second half, we may edit a picture together of how you would kind of edit, like a picture if you took it yourself, and some of the options you can do. We'll probably do that on Photopea or maybe another free alternative of Lightroom. We're going to see. I'm going to have a look what's out there. But yeah, let me know. So Daniel at mediasavvycic.co.uk. If you want to email me anything, just drop that there. And I think that's about it, guys, for now. Everybody enjoy your weekend, and I am going to put the advice screens up while me and Cata go. But otherwise, have a good weekend. Just going to check with the chat, make sure there's nothing pressing. Got the survey in there. Make sure you do it, guys. Okay. All right, brilliant. So thanks a lot, guys. And yeah, me and Cata are going to head off. So thank you, guys. Bye now.